When you're young, life feels like a race, fast, loud, and full of competition. But speak to someone in their 70s or 80s, and you'll hear a different rhythm. Slower, deeper, wiser. They don't rush to speak, and they don't waste words, because they know what really matters. Today, I want to share with you 3 simple yet powerful rules of life that every elder knows. These aren't written in textbooks. They are carved into the silence of late nights, learned in the ache of lost love, and whispered through the years of living. These rules are not for surviving. They're for truly living. And if you listen closely, they may just change your next 30, 40, even 50 years. Rule number 1. Everything is temporary narration. When I was 25, I thought pain would last forever. The heartbreaks, the career failures, the sleepless nights, each felt like the end of the world. I remember calling my grandfather one night after I had lost a job I thought defined me. I was broken. He chuckled gently and said, "You think this is the end? But everything, my dear, everything passes." That's both the burden and the beauty of life. He spoke from experience. He had lost both his parents by 30, fought in a war, rebuilt a life from nothing, and held his wife's hand as she took her last breath after 53 years together. And yet, he said, I woke up the next day, and the day after that, some days, just barely. But eventually, life moved again. That stayed with me. Because in youth, we hold on too tightly to our joy, our pain, our image. We think the good times will last forever, so we get lazy with gratitude. And we think the bad times will never end, so we lose hope. But here's what elders know. Seasons always change. The summer of youth fades into the autumn of maturity. The cold winter of grief eventually softens into the spring of peace. Nothing, absolutely nothing, stays the same. So when joy comes, soak in it, dance in it, let it light your soul. And when sorrow visits, don't resist. Feel it, learn from it. But remember, it won't stay. Your beauty, your strength, your heartbreak, your confusion, all of it is passing. That's what makes it sacred, not permanent, but precious. Think of all the things that once seemed like the end of the world. The exam you failed, the breakup that shattered you, the opportunity you missed. Years later, most of those things become stories, not scars. Elders look back and laugh at things they once cried about. That's not because life became easier. It's because they grew. And that's what time gives us, not forgetfulness, but perspective. So the next time you're in pain, remind yourself, this too is a season. The sun will rise again. Maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. Rule number 2. People matter more than anything. Narration. There was an old man in my neighborhood named Mr. Khan. He used to sit every evening on the same wooden bench in front of his house, feeding the birds. One day, I sat next to him and asked, "What do you think is the most important thing you've learned in life?" He smiled slowly, looked at the sky, and said, "People, nothing else. Not money, not property, not even time. It's people." He went on to tell me about his childhood best friend, how they had dreams of starting a business together, but lost touch over an argument about money. 50 years, he whispered, and we never spoke again. He died last year. I didn't even get to say goodbye. That day I learned that the biggest regrets don't come from what we did, but from what we didn't do, the calls we didn't make, the hugs we withheld, the forgiveness we postponed. Elders will tell you, careers come and go, bank balances rise and fall, but relationships, real human connection, are what sustain you. They remember the laughter over chai, the tears shared in silence, the silly fights that turned into decades-long love. I once met a woman in her 90s who said, "When I was young, I collected things. Now I collect people, memories, moments, stories. My wealth is in the hands I've held and the love I've shared." Make time for people. Prioritize dinners with family over late-night meetings. Choose real conversation over shallow scrolling. Look someone in the eyes and tell them they matter. Don't wait for perfect words. Say, "I love you." Say, "I'm sorry." Say, "I miss you." Life is too short for ego and too long for loneliness. Because at the end of it all, no one wishes they worked more, but everyone wishes they loved better. Let the elders teach us. Success is not what you build, but who you build it with. Rule number 3. You create your own peace. Narration. I once asked a wise 87-year-old woman named Amina, "How do you stay so calm? You've been through wars, lost your son, and lived through heartbreak I can't imagine." She held her cup of tea, took a deep breath, and said, "Because I stopped waiting for peace to find me. I started building it instead." That was the day I understood. Peace isn't a place, or a person, or a reward. It's a choice, a discipline, a habit. Elders know that life rarely calms down. There will always be bills, noise, health scares, disappointments. If you wait for everything to be perfect to feel peace, you'll wait forever. Peace starts when you forgive, not because they apologized, but because you need freedom. Peace begins when you stop arguing just to be right. Peace grows when you learn to sit quietly with your own thoughts, without needing constant noise to escape them. Amina said, "Every morning, I take 5 minutes to thank God I woke up, that I have air in my lungs and a chance to love again. That's how I create peace." And that's the truth. Peace is built in the mundane, in the small, in the quiet. It's not something the world gives. It's something your soul creates. You won't find peace on the other side of a promotion, or in a new house, or in 1,000 likes. You'll find it in the way you breathe, the way you forgive, the way you slow down. Elders have learned to disconnect from the chaos and reconnect with what matters. They sit with the sunrise. They appreciate warm tea. They laugh with their grandkids. They cherish silence not as emptiness, but as presence. Peace is not found. It is remembered. It is practiced. It is earned through stillness, simplicity, and self-awareness. So here they are, the 3 golden rules of life every elder knows. 1. Everything is temporary, so don't cling. Flow. People matter more than anything, so love, forgive, and show up. You create your own peace. So stop waiting and start building. You don't need to be old to understand these truths. You just need to be willing to listen to the quiet voices of those who came before us, the ones who fell, healed, loved, and kept going. Let these rules be your compass, not just when things are hard, but every day. Because the best life isn't the one filled with things. It's the one filled with meaning. The elders don't envy the young, they pity them. Not because they lack time, but because they often waste it, chasing the wrong things, ignoring the real things. Don't wait until your hair turns gray to live wisely. Wisdom is not age, it's awareness. Thank you for listening. If this touched you, share it with someone you care about. And remember, life is short, but wisdom can stretch it wide.